as 2025 is about to end, what are the things that you want to let go of? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soft Part Project. Today, in this episode, I invite you to let go of the things that you want to leave behind with 2025. And I know this year is all about shedding, it's all about unlearning. And I know a lot of you guys had been on this journey as well. It's been extremely difficult, loads of tears, and so much discomfort, but incredibly rewarding as well. And I noticed there are a couple of things. Well, there's really one thing that I just would like to let go of. And it is about perfectionism. Yeah. That's something that really hold me back or kept me small for as long as I can remember. I remember back when I was like 4 years old, first time traveling with my parents to Japan. I'm on this bus ride with a bunch of people, probably 20, 30 people in a tour group. And on this bus ride, it took hours and hours just to get from point A to point B. I didn't make any sound, and I was 4 years old. I mean, it's odd to have kids just to sit still like that. So when people pass by, they will compliment me, praise me on how well behaved I was to my mom, and my mom would feel very proud. And I always remember that, and I always want to model that in order to get praises. And that obviously was something that worked for me for many years until probably junior high school, middle school. About when I was about 14, 15, I started to get these feedback from my peers. They would say, "Why are you so rigid? Why do you think so much? Why are you so sensitive?" And these are the feedback that I started to get more and more. And I remember that used to really confuses me. But instead of letting go of perfectionism, I actually worked even harder to try to change myself. So, when I'm with certain groups of friends, if they're more like casual, more cool, I would behave more like them. But if I'm in front of my parent or elders and I notice that they want, well-behaved kids, I will become really well-behaved. So I noticed that I started to really change my behavior really according to the environment. And I really carried this, gosh, all the way into my adulthood until probably a few years ago that I start to notice how just incredibly tiring and how exhausting it is to carry this concept of perfectionism. And this year, I really cannot ignore it anymore. When you're on the reinvention path, I think it's hard to let things slide. And when you see something that you need to heal from, you just have to address it. This concept of perfectionism, I think it really gets me this year is that there's some point where I even want myself to heal perfectly. That means I wanted myself to have this perfect response in this difficult situation or perfect reaction to someone who's being incredibly rude to me or disrespectful to me, or perfect way to manage my messy emotion during very difficult time. When I noticed that finally, and I think it was probably a couple weeks ago when I was going through the court again and again, I finally snapped. I think my brain short circuited. It's just like I can't do this anymore. But what's funny is I noticed no one was asking me to manage things so perfectly or even heal perfectly. It was me that I was giving myself those tasks because I operated in that kind of structure for so long that I did not even notice it. So yeah, just talking about this makes me feel like I am letting go of this a little bit. And I noticed that, again, sticking with this theme that I'm talking about, I am not going to hold myself responsible to let go of this perfectionism perfectly. I am just going to give myself grace and room. But ultimately, it is really about control, right? Letting go of this control that I always have in order to live a life that I want. That's what I wanted to let go of and what I really wanted to embrace. And I'd like you guys to join me on this journey as well. It's actually really hard to talk about this because those are the things I would like to hide most of the time. So here they are. I actually have them on my note. I would like to embrace aging. Yeah, I know everyone talked about it. I know this is something that everyone's seen on social media, embrace aging, embrace the lines, embrace everything. But for me, for someone that had really hold perfectionism as this like a way of life, I think to embrace aging has been very difficult. So I have fine lines around my eyes. I have gray hair that I'm still covering up that I haven't been embracing fully. And I really feel like 2026 needs to be the year that I'm just letting myself love myself as the way I am. My body is another thing. I definitely noticed that I no longer have really flat stomach. Even though I may be working out way more, I just don't have a flat stomach anymore. And that's okay. That's okay. Another thing is just messiness. The messiness of emotion, the messiness of life, the messiness of growth. Even this year, I was still trying to make things as perfectly as possible, even though things are so messy at times. When it comes to like resetting relationships, friendship, people, family relationships, or just resetting a lot of things within me, somehow I still want them to be done perfectly. So I think 2026 will be the year where I am just embracing messiness. Maybe I don't know what to do in certain situation. I don't know what to say in certain situation. And that would just be the answer, right? Not doing anything, not handling it right away would just be the answer. And last but not least, my emotion. I no longer want to manage my emotions so perfectly or to have this perfect way of reacting to things. If I'm angry, I just wanted to feel the anger. If I'm frustrated, I want to feel the frustration. If I'm upset, depressed, sad, or anything, I just want to feel them first and leave room and give myself grace to do so. So that's my little confession. So, what's the one thing that you would like to let go of and leave behind with 2025? Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.